if I were to tell you that Mark Carney has been running our government since 2020, would you believe me? Would you believe me while running our government that he was a part of 20 other corporations and that there is a huge conflict of interest there? Today's show, I'm going to show you exactly the timeline of how he was a part of our government and all the boards he was a part of. So if you're one of those people that have been sleeping for the last 5 years, it's time to wake up. It's time to listen to what I got to say. Mark Carney has been playing us since day one. And that's because there is a new world order being set up. And we are going to be front row of that stage. I will do a second part to this video. For now, let's focus on the timeline. So let's start off in 2020, when Carney took on the role to advise the Liberal government, Justin Trudeau, for the COVID recovery. In fact, he was the one calling all the shots. It might have looked like Justin Trudeau was the one messing things up, but behind closed doors, Mark Carney was the one who was advising him the entire time. Shortly after that, in 2023, Mark Carney became chair of the Canada 2020 Advisory Board, where the board focused on initiative policy solutions for Canada's future and a better world. The advisory board was chaired by Mark Carney, United Nations Special Envoy in Climate Change and Finance and former Governor Bank of Canada and England. Moving on from there, Mark Carney then came to lead the Liberal Economic Task Force ahead of the next election. And to verify it, it was actually posted on the Liberal platform website September 9th, 2024. So we now know since 2020, Mark Carney has been calling the shots for Justin Trudeau. So just think about all the things that have happened in the past 5 years that you have been angry about this government. And you all thought it was Justin Trudeau calling all these shots. Now let's see the conflict of interest while we have this little mole in our Liberal government that was part of 20 other boards, making deals with China, making deals with other companies, making deals with digital currencies, all those things he was doing while advising the Liberal government. One being back in 2019, all the way up to January of this year, Mark Carney was a part of the Special Envoy in Climate Action and Finance. For all you people that complain about carbon tax and carbon emissions and the price of everything going up, did you not know that Mr. Mark Carney was the co-founder of the GFANZ, the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero? He's the one who made up the entire thing about carbon. During the COP26 climate conference in Glasgow, and describes itself as a global coalition of leading financial institutions committed to accelerating the decarbonization of the economy. And your one and only Mark Carney was the co-founder. During this time, he was actually part of the Group of 30. As part of the leadership, he was a chair of the Group of 30. People who just don't care about you. A whole bunch of bankers that have nothing on their mind but making money. Back in 2023 of October, Bloomberg announces new board of directors. Guess who that was? Mark Carney. Back in February of 2021, Stripe welcomes Mark Carney to its board of directors. And you want to talk about digital currencies that everybody despises of? Wait till you see my next video to this on his involvement of pushing CBDCs. Back in 2020 of September, he became Global Advisory Board for PIMCO. Harvard University. He was elected in 2021 as the Board of Overseers. In June of 2021, he became a board member of the Rideau Hall Foundation. As you can see right there. Everybody knows about the Bilderberg meetings. All the rich and powerful people who don't care about us little peasants. Mark Carney was there with all of his buddies. Not to mention one of the biggest influences in the World Economic Forum. Mark Carney is a member and pays $24,000 a year just to be a member. He became a board of director for the PIIE, as shown here. In 2022, Mark Carney joins Marco Advisory Partners as senior counselor. In 2022 of September, Covito taps Mark Carney for board seat, the climate-focused fintech. He was also part of the advisory board for Watershed. And he did speak on there as Mark Carney on investor demand for climate action, 2021, where he specifically stated, and they stated, Carney himself was the driving force behind one of the largest announcements that Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero now has $130 trillion in pledged assets ready to join the climate fight. But as we know in my last videos, he lost all that support. And this was because there's a court case going on right now with his largest investors about manipulating the market to snuff out the oil industry. He was the president of the Chatham House. In 2020, he became vice chair and head of ESG and impact fund investing for Brookfield Asset Management. So why does this matter? Everybody's like, oh, he's got a lot of experience. Because since 2020, he's been advising the government that failed us. He was the one advising the government on what to do during the COVID recovery. Had chairman of Canada 2020, which they're the ones that come up with policies and initiative and about our future in the economics. And in 2024, chair leader task force on economic growth for the Liberal federal government. All while being on all those boards with all the deals of all the things he had to do for each one of those jobs, while knowing everything that's going on in Canada. Was there a big influence there on policies, economic growth, economic degrowth, maybe the big $65 billion deficit we went into? All of this that happened to our country happened under the advisory of Mr. Mark Carney.